I've got no crews with me. I'm just a 9, over.
And got our Captain Bill from Ops. Copy, it's unlikely this afternoon.
It's reasonable they've been noticed,
It's all black, yes.
The reserves, good on you. Great to have you here.
Last January, the PM was on a media blitz, trying to recover his political standing after the political disaster of his Hawaiian holiday and the perception he was missing in action as the country burned.
So far already, we have seen the largest response from a federal government.
By the time he gave the speech to the National Press Club that marks the traditional start of the parliamentary year, another crisis was just starting to emerge.
The effect of the recent coronavirus outbreak does remain uncertain.
1 year on, that crisis, a global pandemic, dominates everything: politics, the economy, people's lives and choices. But it has largely kept our national political leaders out of our faces over the holidays, their places more often taken by state leaders talking about border closures and lockdowns.
Australia stands strong at the start of 2021. There is still, though, much to do.
The Prime Minister addressed the National Press Club from a position of political strength. Today's news poll shows the two major parties at level pegging in terms of party vote, but the Prime Minister enjoying record personal approval, and Opposition Leader Anthony Albanese is under pressure. That has set up the prospect of an election as early as August, even though the Prime Minister has been playing that down in recent weeks.
Elections due in 2022. Jobs are due in 2021.
And there's another job you get the sense the Prime Minister wants to complete before a poll.
Our aim is to offer all Australians the opportunity to be vaccinated by October of this year.
But let's have a quick update on unfinished business. The final report of the Aged Care Royal Commission is due later this month. It has already recommended the urgent provision of more home care packages, but while the government has announced more funding in response, figures released last month show wait lists remain more than 2 years long for the highest level of care. The PM today signalled more spending on this in the May budget. Dozens of the recommendations of the Banking Royal Commission are yet to be implemented. And there's also been a conspicuous lack of progress on establishing a federal integrity body, an issue back in the spotlight today with the release of annual political donations data. Keeping government decisions clear of politics is an issue that won't go away, with probes of one grant scheme after another raising questions, as has a certain inconsistency of approach.
They were a Cartier watch.
The ruthless prime ministerial attacks on former Australia Post chief Christine Holgate over gifts of Cartier watches is one example. When federal parliament meets tomorrow, several key pieces of legislation will still be stalled in the Senate, including the upending of federal environment laws and the future of the cashless welfare card. But it is industrial relations reforms that are likely to create the biggest fireworks. Unions are digging in against the changes with the new ad campaign.
The Omnibus Bill will hurt Australian workers.
We've taken, albeit modest, industrial relations reforms forward to the Parliament. I note that's not proving any easier to get through the Parliament.
Looming over all this, though, are China and COVID. New laws allowing Canberra to strike down deals with foreign governments by state governments and universities, among others, signal more trouble with China.
We cannot pretend that things are as they were. The world has changed. An enduring partnership requires both of us to adapt to these new realities and talk with each other.
Then there is COVID, which was the main topic of the PM's speech today, in which he gave more details about how vaccines would be rolled out. But it's hard to persuade everyone to get vaccinated when your own backbench is spreading disinformation on social media. So will the PM be reining in his backbenchers, Craig Kelly and George Christensen?
Don't go to Facebook to find out about the vaccine. Go to official government websites. Want to understand about vaccines? Go and talk to Brendan Murphy over there. That's who I talk to.
You don't go to Craig Kelly?
He's not my doctor, and he's not yours.
The timing of the election is likely to hang heavily on what happens in the economy over the next 3 months, and whether the much-discussed cliff, when economic support measures end, eventuates. While job numbers have grown, the number of people receiving unemployment and other benefits has barely budged. By December, they stood at levels more than double a year earlier. In the PM's own electorate, for example, there were around 2,700 people on different kinds of income support before the pandemic. There are now more than 7,000. In other words, there's a whole lot of people, even in a comfortably middle-class place like the Shire, who face a rude shock at the end of March when they are suddenly finding themselves living on just $40 a day. Perhaps this is why the PM was today leaving open the possibility of extending the payments even longer.
We haven't made those decisions yet, and we're looking at the many issues that relate to where people are at and their needs. There's plenty of time for us to deal with any new settings we want to contemplate.
Hi, I'm Lee Sales. Thanks for watching this story. If you'd like to watch more of 7:30's stories, they are on the left of your screen. And tap on the button below to subscribe and get the latest from ABC News.